Hey everyone! This week we're going to be talking about how to organize yourself for remote learning. We've already talked about organization this year, but we figured it would be a great topic to kind of review and adapt for remote learning. Okay, so we're going to talk about 7 ways to organize your study space for success. The flexibility of remote learning frees you from constraints of a physical classroom, which you guys might be enjoying, and it allows you to schedule study time around work and family. However, all of this convenience and flexibility and power leaves you with too many options for when and where and how to study, so it can be a bit overwhelming. Since you don't have face-to-face contact with your professors, well, some of you might, and students, you have to keep yourself on track. These organizational tips for online learning will help make sure you stay on top of everything and successfully balance your work, family, and online classes. So the first one is finding a quiet space for attending class. So when you're taking an online class, the classroom is wherever you are. You want to find a place that's quiet and free from distractions, yet provides enough room for you to take notes either on your computer or by hand. For the record, I really recommend doing your notes by hand. The action of you writing helps you learn the material better. You may also need an electronic outlet nearby so that you can keep your laptop or device charged while logging on to the class. Your classes could be live or recorded, and in a live class, you might be asked to turn on your webcam or your microphone when you participate. So it's really important that you're setting up an area that you can sit and be on the webcam as opposed to sitting on your bed and us looking up your nose. An advantage to online classes is you are attending them from your home, but you need to make sure you're paying attention to what other attendees and the instructor will see when your webcam is on. So if you have a desk in your bedroom or an office, or even if you have to use your dining room table, or I took one of our camping tables and put it in our dining room and kind of set up my own little office so that I have a specific place I can go to work. And then that way when I do any recording of myself or Zoom or go to meetings, you can, it's very appropriately set. You can see my face, not looking in my bedroom or up my nose. You want to create an effective workspace for studying. So it can be tempting to be a little too relaxed about creating a dedicated workspace for your schoolwork, like working in your bedroom or on a couch. If a potential study space is already associated with activities such as eating, watching TV, or sleeping, it's probably not ideal. You're not going to focus as much. Select an area you already associate with learning, if you have one, or create an area. So like I said, I created one for myself because I don't usually work from home. I usually stay at school and get all of my work done, but I can't do that. The more time you spend in it, the stronger the association will become. And that's totally true. I've been working in my little home office that I made for a few weeks now, and when I go over there, that's all I do is my teaching stuff. And then everywhere else is my regular home. Eventually, you're going to find yourself feeling more focused as soon as you enter the space. If your space is limited or you can't create a dedicated study space, store your school stuff in a rolling cart or a backpack or something that's easily transportable. And then, you could use, your dining room table if you need, and ask your family at certain times of the day if it could be quieter. Whenever it's time to study, you'll have everything you need in an organized, smooth transition. Make sure your space is comfortable, but not too comfortable. So when ensuring your study space is comfortable, it's important to keep in mind one of the most important things to keep in mind is ergonomics. Both your study table and chairs should allow good posture, and when you're seated, the top of your desk should rest somewhere between your chest and rib cage. You don't want to be all discombobulated. It's not going to help you focus. This way, you'll be able to rest your elbows on your desktop without having to hunch over. Additionally, the chair should be comfortable, fit the height of the desk, and allow your feet to rest flat on the floor. Organize your files. Your course materials should be easily accessible whenever you need them. If you prefer working with hard copies, you could have a physical filing system or binders or folders like you do regular for school. But you could also have the option to do everything online. So you could store your computer files in folders and use descriptive names to facilitate identification. So I have each of my classes and then sections for each. Schedule your time. So this is what our assignment's gonna be about. When you enroll in an online class, or you didn't really enroll in an online class, you were forced into it, but you want to familiarize yourself with the new syllabus or class requirements, due dates, and you want to avoid unpleasant surprises, or doing this to avoid unpleasant surprises. So a lot of your teachers may have adjusted their syllabus or adjusted the structure of the class, so you want to make sure you're familiar with that. You can hang a calendar on a wall, or the assignment we're doing this week, you could hang that on your wall to help you stay organized. Or you could use an online calendar and set alerts. Organizing your schedule isn't only going to facilitate your studies, but it's going to really help you set aside time for other elements of your life. So, for example, I am working usually from 8 to 12 or 9 to 12, just 100% schoolwork, and then I have a couple breaks and do some emailing, but every day from those times I am 100% just doing schoolwork. You want to stay organized online, so bookmarking sites that you often use can be really helpful. I have a school folder specifically and then subfolders for each class. When you're working online, it's a necessity, while working online is a necessity, the internet can be really distracting. So it's important for you guys to acknowledge that and try to prevent that. So if you find yourself checking Facebook, which probably you don't, but Instagram or TikTok or whatever your online distraction is, it's important, or there are apps that can help you. So for the computer, there's one called Stay Focused, which helps you restrict the amount of time you spend on those sites. So you program it to only allow you to spend a certain amount a day, so that if you're doing it while you're working, or you're supposed to be working, it'll time out and then you can't go to those sites anymore. Establishing a routine is very important. It's going to increase your chances that you're going to stay on top of what you need to do rather than letting deadlines sneak up and procrastinate. And I'm not just talking about a study routine or school routine. A daily routine is important too. You don't want to have crazy sleeping habits, guys. You don't want to be going to bed at 4 a.m. and waking up at 1 in the afternoon. So trying to set good sleep schedules and stick with those routines is going to be really healthy for you and help you get your work done. Once you have a syllabus for each class, or you have like a schedule and you know your expectations, make a study schedule for each course. Include blocks of time for regular studying and reading, as well as extra time to prepare for tests and projects. You could use an old school paper planner if that works for you, or you could try an app like my study app, which lets you store your schedule in the cloud, so you can access it from any device. Creating a support system, we've talked about this in class. Enlist your friends and family to help you stay on track. Let them know when you should be doing so that they can kind of remind you like, hey, did you finish your math homework? Whether it's making sure they understand your commitments and time constraints, or encouraging those you live with to help out with household chores to make it easier for you to focus on your coursework. So, like if you don't have a desk in your room or something like that, like letting your family know, hey, from 10 to 2, I need this area to be quiet so I can focus on my schoolwork. Taking multiple classes online might seem a little isolating, but it doesn't have to be. If you have trouble staying organized, reach out to students in your classes, or even just friends. Maybe you can meet on video chat. So if you guys are students in this class, for example, that you're friends with, maybe you guys meet on Zoom, and then you guys are all doing your work together and kind of hold each other accountable. Study groups can be really effective and help keep you on track. And if you need help from the professor or teacher, don't hesitate to ask. Send them an email. A part of staying organized, especially with online learning, is being proactive and reaching out before you are running too behind or in trouble. So the assignment this week is using one of the 2 graphic organizers that will be posted on the website to create a weekly or daily calendar to organize your class load. I want you to include opportunities like office hours, or if your teacher's doing a flex time. I'm doing that for my math classes. So write down those times so you can kind of see, okay, this is when my math office hours is, this is when my leadership office hours, my humanities, etc. You can either print it out and do it all by hand and then take pictures and upload your worksheet, or I'll upload a document that you can either like copy and paste into Word and type, or hopefully you can just edit, but you might have to just copy and paste it. And this is going to be submitted online through a Google form, which will be attached in the calendar. If you're doing it by hand, please make sure it's legible. And then I really recommend using Cam Scanner to take the photos and email the PDF to yourself, and then you can upload the PDF to that Google form. Cam Scanner is just an app. It's free. It's for phones and tablets, and it's super easy. If you need help working it, just let me know. And then be very specific, so include timing for assignments and due dates, color code if you want. Do things that are going to help you plan out your entire week so you can feel accomplished and you can separate it so that it doesn't feel super overwhelming. The whole point of this is for you guys to really help yourselves figure out remote learning and how to make yourself be as successful as possible. Oops. So let me know if you have any questions.